Oh well. Hello, everybody. Okay, so we wanted to talk today about world dumping. Oh wait, that's not what we wanted to call it. No.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Information dumping. Yeah.
No, world
Dumping. Okay.
Sounds way better.
Dumping. Okay, so we're talking about world dumping and giving the readers too much information all at once. And
you should totally do.
yes, like whatever.
The 45
classes all at the same time.
As soon as the reader opens your book, they should feel completely lost and drained, and like brain dead.
Yeah, because it's like when we were talking about like all of the different like, especially like okay, sci-fi, it ends up having a lot just simply because of there's all these different things that
aliens
are unnamed
and gadgets and like
fantasy authors tend to do it too.
yeah, because
Whenever they have a lot of creatures,
stuff,
weird
magic.
king names and like all this stuff that nobody can pronounce, and like we were talking about that before anyways.
Yeah.
With,
Like
having character names that are entirely
that's
two
the last
different
episode.
Yeah. So this is kind of like along those lines.
Yeah.
Um,
It's like I was talking about in the last
This is really
episode. I've only got like a
Super
couple names you
interesting.
can't pronounce. And the first page of that book only goes over like 1,000 years of history.
my hair is like,
I
yeah.
mean, this is kind of strange.
No, I'm sorry, my hair is being like really goofy. It like looks really funny. It's like sticking up right here.
The prologue of my book only goes over like it really just skims over 1,000 years of history.
In the prologue,
What?
you skim over
Yeah.
1,000. Oh, you just skim over 1,000 years of history. Okay, now this is what we're talking about though, is like gently taking the reader by the hand and leading them in through it is what the author needs to do.
Yeah, instead of running around jerking them all over the place, being like, look at this cool thing.
Yeah, like what you're saying, like a little kid. It's like, like the little kid that is like super freaking hyper and like they want to show you like 500 things all at once. Like, look what I can do, look this, look
And
this,
then
look this.
instead of getting the story, the reader only gets a 50-cent tour.
Well, actually what ends up happening is that
Yeah.
the reader ends up, their head actually ends up spinning around and it explodes. Oh wait, no, that's just a mother. I'm sorry.
No, they're just
That's
like,
just me.
they're like, welcome to Jurassic Park, and then they just drop them right in with the Velociraptor.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Enjoy your tour.
And everybody's like, they land and they're like, what's Jurassic Park? Oh shit!
Here we have
Dinosaurs.
All of them. All at once. Here you go. Enjoy. So yes.
So see, they took them on the tour first and explained the dinosaurs and everything.
Right.
And then they dropped them into the Velociraptors.
Yeah, see, that's much safer. And it's much more like,
There's more story, there's
There's-
more
yeah.
build. It's like, it's not like just a random, fairy. You had foreshadowing, you had like
yes, that's
stuff.
that's the purpose of foreshadowing
Yeah,
and
and so
things like that, is so that you can read
It's to prepare the characters for getting
reader.
It's to prepare them for getting dropped into the Velociraptors.
Yes, exactly. It's okay to drop them in with the Velociraptors.
They just have to be a little
They just
bit
have to
prepared.
be a little bit like, they kind of build up the suspense and the mystery.
Yeah,
Maybe
so
they
it's
give them a
sort of-
parachute.
What if
Yes,
this
at
is
least give
just
them a
going
parachute.
on and on
Like
and
an
on
airplane
and
or
on?
a helicopter.
Yeah, there you go. Give them a parachute. Yeah, otherwise, what'd you say, Elsa? It's like, just like running around going, wow,
Yeah, what if
It's like you running around Walgreens.
Oh, no. I was saying like a little kid. Yeah.
No, you.
Oh, look at this, look at this. Yeah. Imagine, picture this, if you will. A mother, a young mother with 6 children. 2 of them are twins.
As opposed to like
And-
four maniacal laughter.
And yes, maniacal laughter. And the mother, she takes her little brood, sinister laughter, into the park. And all of the children are running around all at once, and they want me to see everything that they're doing all at once. That's
Eerie
what I
laughter?
was thinking about.
What happened to the mother? You just totally switched point of view.
We're not discussing.
Yeah,
point of
she's
view
talking
today.
in
in
third person, and she just
she's like talking in third person.
She's like, no, mother, take your choice, person of the heart, come on.
Look at
switching tense?
Yeah,
You know what, we have a whole nother video about switching tense.
Okay, let's not get
We're
distracted.
not
from
gonna
the
get
info dump.
distracted about that. Yes, okay, so we're talking, yes, speaking of info dump. Okay, so what we're trying to say is whenever, especially, I mean, this is especially with sci-fi authors and
Fantasy.
sometimes
authors.
fantasy authors.
Anybody
depending
who
on
does
what's
a lot
going
of
on.
world building.
Yes, world building is primarily, yeah, people who do a lot of world building and, you know, you've got your languages and you've got your,
That's what
all
I
your
call
weird names and all your, you know, places in history and all this stuff. You have to gently lead the reader along so that you do not make their head explode.
That's why I split
And-
mine into 12 books.
Yeah, there's that too. But you can take, what happens though is like, I mean, like the reader, they open the book. And there's like so much information on the first page that they can't comprehend it. And then they have to read it like 12 times. And then by the time they have understood it, they still haven't understood it because the rest of it's later in the book. And then they're just gonna toss the book. They're not even gonna finish reading it.
Yeah.
Whenever it's like just too much, because if you open up a story, like fiction should not be like a textbook.
No, it shouldn't.
It shouldn't,
And
you
you
shouldn't
shouldn't be like giving out a Nobel Prize to anybody when finishes reading.
Yeah, exactly. It shouldn't be yeah, it shouldn't be like a struggle for the reader to read your story. I mean, that
Anyone
doesn't sell
who
very
reads
many
my
books.
story, it's a Nobel Prize.
Yeah, exactly. But like, you know, you open it up in the first page and you're like, you know, calculus, like
If you
all
read it the whole way
calculus on the
through
first
and I
page.
give you a quiz and you pass that quiz,
Yeah,
you pass.
yeah. And you were saying, a really good example that you brought up was Tolkien.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like for the Hobbit, he starts with in a hole in the ground, there was a hobbit. Nobody knows what a hobbit is, but by the time you're done getting through the description of the hole in the ground, you have a pretty good idea.
Yeah, exactly. And well, and also he doesn't dump all of Middle Earth.
No, he doesn't be like, and hobbits lived over here whenever Rohan was here, and Gonor's over here,
Yeah,
and there's orcs tromping the whole world, and you know, wargs and goblins, and just you know.
yeah, he does not,
No.
and Smog and the Lake Town,
Yeah, he
like,
doesn't
he
be like-
doesn't throw
Yeah.
all of that in the first
No.
part. He starts with the Hobbit. And the Hobbit is your main character, he, you know,
Yeah.
and you learn about what a Hobbit is,
Mhm.
and then you,
And you learn about Bilbo specifically,
yes.
and then all the dwarves come purge party.
Yes, and then you learn about more and more gradually as the story goes along. And then that's the kind of thing, I mean, it goes with pacing, it goes with, I mean, there's a lot of different things that it goes with. But that is something I have read a lot of books, especially with, you know, authors who, you know, self-publish and things like that. You wanna just really be careful of that and be aware.
I've read a couple, that's where I'm like, especially sci-fi, because everybody's like, this cool gadget, and you're
Yes.
like, later.
Yeah, and everybody's got, yeah, in the first page, like everybody's got like lasers, you know, flying and these aliens and just spaceships, and I can't
And
even
like,
like think.
for
I
some
don't-
reason, the captain has an anti-gravity pen.
Yeah, oh, yes, and also there's the superfluous details.
Yeah, like for
And
just no reason.
No
at all.
reason, yeah, does this pen, you know, come later in the story? Is there?
No, it's just really cool.
No, it's just really cool. Yes, those are the kind of things you have to watch in the
Those
stories.
and you also don't, if you really want him to have a floating pen, it's really important for you to put it later on a little bit where,
Well, when
because
they
at the beginning, you're looking for important details anyway.
and give it value,
And give it-
it has to have some kind of purpose.
Be like if the floating pen saved the guy's life, or
Right.
like, you know.
Or if it made it so like he was dying and he still was able to get a message to the queen
Because he could just tell his pen what to
because he
write.
could telepathically, yes, exactly, or just speak to it and it would write
just
for
send a
him
pen
and
to the
it saved his
queen
life. Yeah,
And it doesn't
And
have,
sent troops and. you
No,
know.
see what he does is he looks at the pen like this, and then he puts all the information in the pen, and then the pen just floats off to the queen.
Okay, well,
and
either
then
way,
when it gets to the
it
queen's
has to
like,
have some value.
What? You're getting sidetracked.
See how easy she gets sidetracked?
That's called rambling. So
Yes,
easy.
oh, rambling, oh wait, isn't that what our show? Huh? So easy to get sidetracked? Is that what you said?
So isn't that what the show's about?
Oh, is that, yeah. Yes, a little bit, yes, we do get, okay, a little bit, all right, a lot, whatever,
Yeah.
we do get sidetracked completely. It's like if you took, you tried to paint like 12 scenes all on one piece of, canvas or a piece of paper or something like that, or like 12 different animals and scenes, you just wanna like throw it all on one
Some
page.
artists can successfully do that.
But
Yeah.
it actually, but it's not very beneficial,
No, it's not.
because
It
whenever
takes away from each individual part.
whenever you go and you look at the artwork, it's overwhelming too. I've seen a lot of artwork where the artwork itself is overwhelming because there's just too much going on. Like you can have extravagant artwork, but okay, like the Peacock Party, for example, the illustrations there are exceptionally extravagant. I mean, there's just so much in them, but it's like one scene. It's still a single scene, yeah. So you're not having like 12 things going on. I mean, they're at the end, they have a fold out page, but it's a party, and it's still one scene. It's just there is a lot going on.
Yeah,
But you've also been led up to it from the very first page. You have the peacock, and then the second page, I mean, then you have the eagle, the raven, and it leads you on through each character, and then you open it up.
Is the Taylor Bird comes first?
I'm
not listing them in order.
I'm not listing them in order, I'm just being random, thank you so much. Then there's the Taylor Bird, I'm so sorry, because the Taylor Bird is actually making everyone's clothes for the party.
Yeah.
So he's very important, he's a very valuable character, I'm so sorry. I was being random. I apologize. My point is this is a picture book of poetry for children, and it still starts out with you're introduced to one character at a time.
Natural progression.
And there's a natural progression up to and then the very last page, it's a fold out page, and you open it up and there's the big party, and you can point out all of the characters because you already know them. So you can have like a huge, massive, battles and, things going on and parties and whatever, but you have to lead the reader up to it and not dump all of this information and
Yeah, they
history
can't
on
have a
them
party
once.
in a battle. Anyway, they
Yes.
can't have a battle in a party.
No, the
Yeah.
In the first page.
thing is,
Exactly.
we don't, we lead them up to it instead of dropping them right in the middle of that.
Exactly, that's all. Okay, so I think we're done with that for today.
Probably. Do we have any more information for the reader?
Yeah, we want
How about the writer?
The viewer?
Yeah, the viewer. And
The person.
if that wasn't enough information to dump on you all at once, we will have more next time we decide to. Which actually, we have a lot to catch up on, so.
What was and you should
Could you imagine?
give the point again. The point is don't dump your reader
In
on
Yeah,
the first
Velociraptor.
page.
Don't dump them into the Velociraptors on the first page.
Yeah.
And if you do, you should lead up to it.
Yes, there should be some lead, well, it shouldn't be on the first page, it can be on the first page
Yeah,
if you're
it-
up to it.
I know.
Yeah, if you're gonna dump the reader into the Velociraptors, at least do it, after you've told them what they are.
Yeah, because you should know, but
Yes.
you should explain to the reader how the laser gun works before you just hand it what's on one. So.
Right. Exactly.
Yo, here's a laser gun. Have fun. And the reader's like,
Oh, how does it work?
where's the trigger?
Yeah. Oh, and that's another thing I want to throw out real quick too. Not everybody cares about the complete and total mechanical workings of the laser gun.
Oh, yeah, that's a really good point.
That's
Yeah,
something I
you just
can't
wanna know where the
like,
trigger is and the.
yeah, we don't need to know
laser.
No,
absolutely every
I mean-
single little last detail
Oh.
about the laser gun.
the whole point of calling it a laser gun is because a gun is familiar.
Exactly.
And
A
it
gun is already familiar, so you
So
know
a laser
that
gun is a gun that shoots lasers.
yes, exactly. And we do not
Kind of
need to know
self-explanatory.
the entire mechanical workings
We
of
don't
it.
need to know.
Because that's information dumping too, and that's
Yeah.
something that happens like,
Yes.
take an entire, page or two describing an object.
Unless it's really important, like somebody steals a magical crystal that you use to make the lasers inside the gun, or like
Yes, but
Something
even
like
still,
that.
you can do it in a way that doesn't overwhelm people.
You can't.
Let's whole stories about laser.
That's what I was saying. Okay, if your whole entire story is about a laser gun,
I'm right.
what?
Girl stories about laser gun, she's not reading it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, I'm not interested. I'm just not, I'm sorry.
Girl stories about the laser gun. Read it.
Okay, so again, that's it for today, that's all.
Yeah.
So don't information dump on your readers, lead them up to stuff and don't give them too much information about all your gadgets and stuff because they probably don't care.
And we meant to lead you up to this, but
Yeah. Okay,
We don't like to sit around the bush.
bye.
Bye.